So, you've built something incredible, right? An amazing product. But here's the thing. In a market that's just jam-packed, how do you actually get noticed? The answer isn't just throwing more money at ads. Nope, it's about a smarter strategy. And today, we're going to break down exactly that. The practical, real-world steps of content marketing to take your great product and turn it into a brand that people just can't forget.
But before we dive in, let's just ask the big question, the one that probably keeps a lot of you up at night. Is having a fantastic product actually enough to guarantee success? I mean, really, you could have invented the most brilliant solution in the world, but if nobody knows it exists, does it even make a difference?
Okay, let's just be real for a second. The hard truth? In the world we live in today, this crazy digital world, a great product by itself, it's just not enough. You'll just stay invisible. Without a smart way to get your message out there, to talk to the right people, you're basically shouting into the void. And that is the exact problem we're going to solve right now.
But here's the good news, right? Getting noticed isn't some random lottery. It's not about luck, it's all about strategy. It's about taking that step beyond just having a good product. It's about building an actual system, a machine that earns you trust and gets you seen. And yeah, this system has a name, and it's this awesome mix of creativity, a little bit of psychology, and of course, sales.
So what is this magic system? Well, it's called content marketing. And honestly, the core idea is so simple, but it's incredibly powerful. It's all about building trust and becoming an authority. How? By giving your audience real value for free before you even think about asking for a sale. Think about it. It's the difference between yelling, "Buy my stuff," from a rooftop and quietly saying, "Hey, I'm here to help you solve a problem." Okay, so before we jump into creating anything, a blog post, a video, whatever, we have to get the ground rules down. These are the fundamentals of the game, and trust me, mastering these is what separates the people who actually succeed from those who are just, well, making a lot of noise online.
All right, rule number 1, and I cannot stress this enough, this is the big one. Know your audience. And listen, I'm not just talking about demographics, like their age or where they live. That's surface-level stuff. No, you need to get inside their heads. What do they really want? What problems are keeping them up at night? What are they feeling? Every single thing you create has to speak directly to that. Okay, on to rule number 2. Help first, sell later. This is where so many people trip up. They just can't stop talking about their product, their features, but that's not the game. Your focus has to be on creating immediate value. Be genuinely helpful. Because when someone reads or watches your stuff and thinks, wow, that actually helped me, they automatically start to see you as an expert. The trust it starts to build all by itself.
And that brings us to rule number 3. Be consistent. It sounds simple, but it's crucial. Think about it. If you post something great this week and then go completely silent for 2 months, it just looks flaky, unreliable. A steady, planned schedule does 2 things. It builds anticipation, and it shows people you're a serious professional presence they can actually rely on.
All right, so we've got the rules down. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty, the practical stuff. How do you actually deliver all this amazing value to your audience? Let's talk about the tools of the trade, the different kinds of content you can create to make this whole strategy come alive.
So think of your content like a toolbox. You've got 3 main tools in there. First up, you've got blogs. These are like your reference library. They're perfect for going deep, answering tough questions, and they're absolute gold for long-term SEO. Then you've got videos. This is all about connection. It's how you create a real emotional bond, put a face to the name. Nothing else really does that. And finally, you have social posts. These are your daily handshakes. They're quick, they're visual, and they keep you top of mind while people are scrolling.
Okay, theory is great and all, but I know what you're thinking. Show me how it actually works. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to walk through a concrete 7-step strategy. You'll see exactly how all these pieces, the rules, the tools, all fit together in a real-world scenario.
So for our example, let's imagine we have an online course to sell. It's called Mindset for Entrepreneurs. That's our product. The mission? How do we use content marketing to find the people who need this course and turn them into students?
Okay, so here's the blueprint in action, step by step. First, we get obsessed with our audience. We figure out they're young, probably a bit frustrated, trying to make it as entrepreneurs. Then we start creating content that speaks directly to their pain points. Motivation, dealing with failure, that fear of being judged. Remember, at this point, we're not selling anything. We're just helping. The real magic trick happens at step 5. We offer something super valuable for free, like an ebook called The 10 Winning Habits, in exchange for an email address. Boom! Now we can talk to them directly. We keep sending them helpful stuff, success stories, building that relationship. And only then, once the trust is there, do we make the final move. Maybe invite them to a webinar where we pitch the course. You see that flow? We go from giving general help to a specific value exchange to building a relationship, and only then do we ask for the sale. That's how you build a funnel on a foundation of trust.
Now, following that 7-step plan will absolutely get you results, for sure. But if you want to go from good to great, if you want to build a brand that really lasts, there are a few extra secrets to success you've got to know.
First off, analyze your data. It's simple. You can't improve what you're not measuring. Pay attention to what works. Next, quality over quantity. Always. One amazing, super helpful article is worth more than 10 mediocre, forgettable ones, period. Third, you've got to use the power of storytelling. Facts and figures are fine, but stories are what connect with people on an emotional, human level. And finally, and this is so important, always have a call to action. Tell people what you want them to do next. Every single piece of content needs to have a purpose.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head when it comes to storytelling. People don't fall in love with products. They fall in love with stories. Think about it. Product features, data, it's all so forgettable. But a story? A story about a struggle you overcame or how you helped someone achieve their dream? That creates a real connection. It builds empathy in a way that a list of benefits just can't. And that brings us back to the call to action. Look, the bottom line is this. If you don't ask, you don't get. Every blog post, every video, every social media update needs a job. You have to explicitly tell your audience what you want them to do next. Leave a comment, download the guide, subscribe to the channel. If you don't ask, most people just won't do it.
So there you have it, the rules of the game, the tools for the job, and a real step-by-step strategy. This isn't just a bunch of ideas. It's a practical blueprint for building a community of people who actually trust you and believe in what you're doing. So I'm going to leave you with a final question to think about. Now that you have the blueprint, what's the very first action you are going to take to build your brand?